I've been thinking a lot about what class to main in the War Within, and Ret Paladin is at the top of that list. It's had its ups and downs in Dragonflight, but after the 10.06 rework, Ret really became a unique spec. Ret cemented itself as a medium ranged damage dealer, and I thank our Evoker brothers for making this possible. Ret has always had a lot more damage from range than any other quote-unquote melee classes, and especially in PvP, you really can't call Ret a melee anymore. Being able to do most of our damage like Final Verdict and Blade of Justice, hitting from 20 yards and some attacks even going to 30 yards. When Augmentation came out, I really thought that Blizzard was going to extend the support role to other specs, hoping that Ret would be one of those, of course. Between Blessings, Auras, and Off Heals, and with the hero talents coming out in the War Within, it was a perfect time to do this. However, based on what Blizzard has said about support specs, there's really no plans to do this anytime soon. So Ret is stuck being a spec with a great damage profile that's only improving in the War Within. And whether you pick the Herald of the Sun or the Templar hero talents, Ret is getting a ton of passive damage from both AoE and single target, and even some movement increases and passive healing. All of these are just making Ret better at what it already does, and that is great news. I had really hoped that hero talents were going to be something very different as one of the big features of the expansion, either changing specs entirely or at least changing them visually, and the latter is happening to a degree, but most of it is passive and probably won't change how you play to a great deal. To be honest, Ret got a lot of love in Dragonflight, so I'm not surprised we're seeing only minor changes coming with the War Within. Neither the class nor the spec tree are seeing any sweeping changes, but there does seem to be more of an emphasis on damage over time, especially for Herald of the Sun Ret. So you may change your spec around a little bit to take advantage of that. One example is that Truth's Wake, which adds a dot to Wake of Ashes, is now baseline and is replaced by a talent called Burn to Ash. This talent makes Truth's Wake critical strikes extend its duration, and other dots are going to deal 30% more damage while Truth's Wake is active. There's also less emphasis on AoE versus single target talents, so you won't have to give up much of either to get the other, if that makes sense. In Dragonflight, there were some very clear choices you had to make that would greatly increase AoE damage, but at the expense of single target. The tree does feel a little bit bloated right now, so I hope that they combine some talents or make them baseline or something. There are some really hard choices you have to make, especially in the middle portion of the tree. Overall, Ret is shaping up to be in a decent shape in the War Within, and if you're on the fence about playing it, I would encourage you to give it a try. Tuning will work itself out, and even though Ret isn't getting any huge changes, it feels great to play now, so I'm glad that they aren't messing with that. Thanks for watching, be sure to hodge that like button and subscribe for more. Peace.